In this tutorial, we'll be creating an artist and producer website from scratch. I'll be showing you how to create your artist website, and we'll also be creating a beat store for producers who are interested in selling the instrumental. So those are the main two things about this tutorial. We'll be diving into other things and adding lots of features into your artist website. So this tutorial is for independent artists who want to create their own websites from scratch and have total control over it without using an external service. There are lots of them. Zugu, I think, is one. Beastars is another one. So there are many services that offer you subscription to create your own website, but the features you can do on them are limited. So I'll be showing you how to put any feature you can think of as an artist or a producer on your website. And interesting thing is this is very affordable and it's usually cheaper than using any of those services. So let's get right into it. We'll be creating something similar to my website, this website here and this one here. So I'll be creating a new website from scratch for one of my artists, John Toby. I'll be showing you everything from purchasing the domain to setting up hosting, security, your own beat store and everything. So for my website, we have a simple informational website about me. I have my album here where my fans can stream and you can play that and stream the album or purchase if you like. I also have a beat store where you can buy instrumentals. You can sort them out by, for example, keys and play that, or genre and play that. So I'll be showing you how to do this, and you can add them to cart, and your musicians or rappers or anybody you sell beats to can purchase instrumentals directly from your site. So my site also has a nice contact page with a form, and this connects straight to my custom email. I'll also be showing you how to set up multiple custom emails for you and your team if you have a team as an independent artist. So we'll be having a pop-up on the site as well, like this one here for newsletters. I'll be showing you how to set up newsletters. We'll set up a merch store as well. We'll also set up a calendar for tour if you are a touring artist. So those are the main things we'll be setting up. We'll talk about many other features as we go through the video. But yeah, those are the main goals for this video. So we'll be using WordPress for this. So WordPress is the software that hosts the most websites in the world. So I think it's about 70% of the websites in the world are built on WordPress. So it's a software and you can install this in your hosting platform. I'll be showing you how to do all of that. And if you think of any website in the world, you can do it in WordPress. Some websites might be very custom, might take some time, but you can probably build it in WordPress. So we'll be using WordPress to build this site. We'll be using another tool called Astra. So this is a plugin and theme in WordPress, and we're using templates and template blocks from Astra. This is free and we'll use that in WordPress. So for the beat store, we'll be using a WordPress plugin called Sonaar Music, and I'll show you how to do this. So this is free. You can get started with this for free, but there are some features that are paid. So you need the paid plugin. It's a one-time payment or a yearly subscription or lifetime. Let's go through the pricing. And I have the agency plan. That's the lifetime unlimited plan. So if you want me to help you set up your own website and you need a license for that, you can reach out to me. I'll set up your website and build it for you. This Sonaar plugin is capable of doing a lot of things. You can use it for your beat store. If you host a podcast, you can host your podcast on that. It's a very, very powerful plugin. As you can see, that's what I'm using to host my album and beat store here. So that's Sonaar. Links to all these tools will be in the description below and in the pinned comment. So if you want to get any of these tools, for example, purchase, hosting and domain, which we'll be talking about now, there will be affiliate links in the comments and in the description below. So yeah, if you purchase any of these tools or domain or hosting through those links, I'll be getting a small commission. So thank you for that. For hosting, we'll be using Namecheap. So when it comes to WordPress, you have a lot of options. You can use dedicated WordPress hosting providers. A very popular one is WP Engine. But as an independent artist trying to cut cost, you don't need that. They can get very expensive. So we'll be using shared hosting. So shared hosting kind of gets a lot of backlash from people, but there's no big deal about it. So if you set up things properly, shared hosting is very secure and fine. As long as you're not getting millions of traffic, shared hosting can handle your website. You're probably not going to be getting millions of traffic as an independent artist, so you're good with shared hosting. So we'll be using this one. This is the cheapest one. You pay $22 for the first year and it renews at $48 per year. So this is probably the only thing you'll be paying for. Every other thing has a free option. For the merch store and the bit store as well, we'll be using WooCommerce. So WooCommerce is a e-commerce plugin you can use in WordPress, and we'll be using this to sell anything we like. For the newsletter, we'll be using MailPoet, and this is an email marketing plugin. You can use this to write newsletter. So you think of MailChimp or Substack, it's everything in one. So you can use that to write your newsletter. You can use it to send email marketing campaigns. You can use it to do automated marketing stuff. For example, if someone wants to purchase a bit and they leave the bits in the cart, you can remind them. And it's a very interesting plugin to do different email marketing stuff, and it's highly integrated with WordPress, so we'll be using that. And we'll also use Cloudflare for a lot of security stuff. I'll be showing you how to get free SSL with this and how to protect your sites, increase your email delivery rate, and lots of that good stuff. So these are the main tools we'll be using. Obviously, we'll be using a lot more within WordPress. We'll be using a lot more plugins and tools, not too much, a few more than these, but these are the main stuff. So let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is purchase domain and hosting. So go to namecheap.com. I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below, and you can purchase the Stellar plan on that shared hosting. So this gives you a domain name for free as well. So after you purchase that, you find your domain in your account. So you go to domain list and you can find your domain here. So the first thing we want to do is set up our domain. And for this, we'll be using the domain settings in Namecheap, but I'm going to be doing something here. I'm going to be setting this up with Cloudflare. So Cloudflare is a CDN, so it's like a middleman between the people that visit your website and your hosting or your domain, and this helps protect your website. So we'll start for free, and I'll create an account with Google. So I'll just continue with Google. So after you set up an account, you want to add in a new domain. So you can go to domain registration and add in a new domain, or you see it on the dashboard here. You can onboard a domain. So I'll be putting this domain, johntoby.com. This is the artist we'll be creating the website for. I'll put that in here. I'm just going to do a quick scan, then choose the default options and continue. And we'll be selecting the free plan. So this is what the free plan gives us: protection from distributed denial of service attacks. We have a web application security, universal SSL certificate. That's this padlock sign here to show your site is secure, and it helps encrypt information when you are transmitting information on your site. And global CDN. This can make our site very fast and easy to use DNS. So interesting security options there. So we'll select the free plan. We don't need any other plan as an independent artist. So this went through your domain registry and scanned them and added all the information here. So it's already proxying everything we need, and we just need to confirm this. So let's continue to activation. And I'm going to copy these two name servers from Cloudflare and paste them in Namecheap. So let's go to Namecheap. Under your domain list, select your domain, and under name server, select custom DNS. So I'll put in the first one, copy the second one, and put that in as well. So I'll click OK, and I'll come back to Cloudflare and continue. So this can take up to 24 hours, but usually takes like 5 minutes if you did what I just said and you did it properly. So let's check name servers now. and it's saying wait for a few hours to update. I'm going to pause the video and come back in a couple minutes and it should have been updated. So yeah, that took about 10 minutes and our site is now being protected by Cloudflare. And yeah, we're good to go. So I'll go to DNS and we can see we don't have the exclamation mark on most of these things again. So the way to confirm if this is properly set up is to go to your hosting cPanel and see if the values match. So let's do that. Under hosting list, find your hosting and you see a link to go to your cPanel. So in the cPanel, we'll scroll down to domains and we'll check zone editor. So click on manage and we can see this A record, for example, the IP address 66.29.132.172 is the same one we have on Cloudflare here. So Cloudflare was able to properly get all the DNS records and match them and proxy them through Cloudflare. So that's how to set up hosting and domain with Cloudflare. You're now proxying everything you do through Cloudflare. So you have a web application firewall, you have a nice CDN that makes your website faster with pictures and lots of media. And you also have extra security features. So this is the first thing you want to be doing before you install WordPress. So let's go over to our cPanel. Let's go back and you want to find Softaculous apps installer. So if you are using Namecheap or any other shared hosting that uses cPanel, you'll probably be using Softaculous to install WordPress. Click on that or click on WordPress and want to click on install. Let's install now. And if you've properly set up Cloudflare, you should be able to use HTTPS. So I'll be selecting HTTPS and the domain. Won't put any option for the directory. We'll make sure we are on the latest version of WordPress. Let's change the site name. We'll change the description. We'll enable WordPress multi-site. So this option allows you to create multiple sites within one WordPress installation, like the sites we have here for Alex Warren. You have alexwarrenofficial.com and you have eustore.alexwarrenofficial.com. So we can create a domain and a subdomain. So this EU store is called a subdomain under the main domain. So we can use WordPress multi-sites to set up things like this. Disable all these plugins. It's going to install by default. We don't want to install any of those plugins by default. I'll be changing the admin account details here. So I've been able to generate a strong password with a password manager. You guys should be using password managers and you should be creating strong passwords as well. And let's install. So this will take a couple minutes. Our installation was successful. Let's check out the website. And we have a basic WordPress website here. So yeah, this is how fast you can set things up. So let's log in. So the login for WordPress sites are usually the website.com/WP admin. So you can log in with the password you created here. So yeah, we are in WordPress now. And if you see my site with multiple houses here, you've been able to successfully install WordPress multi-site. For now, we want to go into settings. Let's see what we have there. And we have lots of settings we can change. I want to change the max file upload size to 15 MB and let's save changes. So now let's go back to my site, network admin, and let's go to themes. So we have 3 themes installed by default here. I want to keep things light and simple. I'll leave the 2025 theme and I'll delete the 2024 and the 2023 theme. So the next thing I want to do is add in a new theme. So you can see popular ones here. Astra and Elementor are the 2 most popular external themes and we'll be using Astra. So I'll install that. And I'm going to activate this. So the next thing we want to do is go over to network admin and go to plugins. We have two plugins here by default. I'm going to be deleting both of them. I do not need them. I'm going to add in some plugins we'll be using in this tutorial. So the first plugin we'll be installing is called Admin and Site Enhancement. We'll be using this for multiple things like customization and security. So I'll install this. The next plugin we'll be installing is Elementor. So let's get that installed. I'll also install Forminator. So Forminator is a plugin for forms. Let's install that. Let's install MailPoet. And let's install starter templates. So this is an Astra plugin. That's the theme we installed when we're setting up our themes. So I'll install that. So I'll install one more, site origin CSS. So we'll use this if we want to set up some custom CSS. So let's install that. So let's go to my site, John Toby, and dashboard. So let's go to appearance, themes. Then we want to activate Astra. So I'll activate that. Then let's go to plugins. We'll select all the plugins we've installed and we'll click on bulk actions and we'll click on activate. So this redirects us to starter template. Let's exit to the dashboard. We don't want to get started with starter templates yet, even though we'll still use it. So I want to take a look at some of the admin site enhancement options. So let's go to tools and enhancements. So I just want to make sure we have some security options set. First, let's enable content duplication. Let's check security. Let's limit login attempts. I'll change this to 5. This is extra security. There is another security plugin called WordPress, but I don't think we need that for now. The fact that we're using Cloudflare as a CDN and we have some few extra security options with admin and site enhancements here, that's pretty good for our website. You can enable these options here, obfuscate your email from bots, and we already have Cloudflare protecting us from denial of services, but I'll also enable this. So these are nice security tools, extra security tools. And let's go to optimization, image upload control. I'm not enabling any of this for now. And I'm not enabling any of this for now. So this is a nice feature you can use to show your site on maintenance mode. So anybody that visits your site to see a nice maintenance warning. So let's disable that. I won't be using that, but that's for your info if you ever need that. So yeah, that's all for admin site enhancements. Let's save changes and let's go to our dashboard. So you see the pop-up to get started with starter templates. If you don't see that, you can click on appearance and starter templates to get started. So let's get started with starter templates. Then we want to click on the classic starter template. We don't want to use the AI builder. So you can choose block editor or Elementor. I'm going to choose Elementor. And now we have templates we can get started with. So remember the example sites we want to model after. That's my site, this website here, and this one. So we'll be choosing something that cuts across any of them. So let's sort that out. Let's go to personal sites and let's choose musician. We have some free and premium ones here. I like this one. I'm going to add to favorites. This one looks nice as well. This is looking a lot like the Alex Warren website if we start editing. I think I like this one. This one looks nice as well. Let's add that to favorites. So yeah, we have 3 added to favorites. Let's click on the love icon here to show the favorites, or the heart icon. And let's preview this one. And this is the main page. Yeah, this one really looks like the Alex Warren site with tour dates and things like that. I think I like this one. The about page looks nice. Shows, that looks nice. And the contacts page looks good as well. Let's go back and let's preview this one. This one looks nice as well. Let's preview this as well. This one is very, very simple. I really like this one. So I'm stuck between this and the first one. I really, really like this one. This is simple. This has the newsletter thing as well. Let's look at the first one again. I don't think I'll be using this one. This one has the social media here. So I think we'll go with the first one, but I'm going to come back to this one and pick out this page, try to replicate this. I really like this page, but let's get started with this one. I think this is the closest one to what we are looking for. So let's choose a font and a color scheme. So I know John Toby doesn't like something that is overly styled. I think the default one works. And let's choose a color style. Let's go with this one. This one looks more relaxing. So we'll go with default. Let's continue. Then he wants us to select some things. I'm going to unselect SEO and search engine visibility. I don't know what it wants to install here, but it's definitely some sort of plugin. We don't need that for now. So let's continue. Let's submit. So it's installing everything we need for this website and it's almost done. So we are good to go. If you don't like any of the templates that we used, any of the free templates, you have access to paid templates with Astra. You can get Astra Pro with the link in the description below, and you have access to hundreds of templates you can get started with. So, but I think the free templates are quite nice as well. Let's view our new website. So yeah, this is our new website. johntoby.com is this guitarist. Now we need to start editing this. But first, let's take a look at some of the things Astra installed for this template. Let's see if we need to deal with extra plugins. You want to keep your installation as minimal as possible. So he installed WP Forms. We'll switch this to Forminator later, but we can get started with that. So let's finish up the website. So we don't want to discourage search engines from indexing, and I think we are good to go. Another thing we want to set up is permalinks. So we want to make this post name. So yeah, this is what we want to set up, and I think we are good to go. So yeah, everything looks great. What I want to do is click on customize. I'll right click and open this in a new tab. I want to start fleshing out this site. So customize helps you customize lots of things on the page, especially the header and footer for Astra if you're using the Astra theme. So let's start with the header, and I'm going to click on this. I'll remove this image. So I just created a quick logo for John Toby in Canva, and we'll be importing that into WordPress. So it's nice to add in alt text for SEO. And we'll make sure this is centered, and we'll crop the image. So yeah, we have a nice logo there, and that's looking good. So let's publish this, and let's take a look at the footer. We'll edit this as well, and I want to change this so you can select any of the widgets with the selector here as well. So let's change this here. We'll replace image with the cropped John Toby image. We'll add in the alt text as well. That looks good. And thinking about it, I don't think I want to have all this information in my footer. Let's take a look at the example website. This is a simple footer with social media details and my email. Let's look at this one. Simple footer as well. And this one has a simple footer as well. So let's simplify this as well. So I'm just going to get rid of this guy here. So let's remove all these widgets. And we have a simple footer right here. So what we can do is, let's see. So we have this and the lessons. I think I can bring the social media down here or above, and just put in, I'll change this to 2 columns, put in the menu here, and I'm going to put in his email here. So add an HTML. Let's edit that. So I'm just going to put in John Toby at johntoby.com. So that's a nice email. Let's centralize this and let's increase the font. And we'll change the color to, let's match with the color we have there. And yeah, this looks good. We'll set up this email later. In fact, let's set it up now so we don't forget. So let's go to cPanel and let's go to email. So we'll go to email accounts and we'll create a new email. So I want to create 2 emails here. I want to create the admin one. So admin, and I'm going to go off screen to create the password. Then you want to click on edit settings. I will set this to unlimited. So that's the storage space. So let's create, and we have that email there. And I'm also going to create the John Toby email. That's johntoby@johntoby.com. And yeah, I've created the password. Let's edit the optional settings, and I'll set this to unlimited. So let's create, and we have 2 emails here. So let's check this one. So let's check the email, and it's taking us to the webmail. So you also have the subdomain for this setup. That's webmail.johntoby.com. So you can access your email by going to webmail.johntoby.com, and you can log in with that there. So let's access this. And we have our configuration. If you want to set this up with your Gmail app on your phone or with Outlook, you can always set that up here. You have your email, your inbox. You can send emails from here. Let's go to settings. And yeah, you have your custom email. And with the cheapest Namecheap account, you can set up to 30 custom emails for yourself and your team. So let's go back to Roundcube, and I want to show you how you can set up other devices. So if you click on Android or Apple, you can send the config to another email, and you can set up your email to use the email app from there. So you can see other settings right here to help you customize this email. So that's how to set up email. That was a quick one, but that's everything you need to know. So let's go back to our customization options, and everything looks good here. I'm going to be editing the social media icons as well. So let's disable Facebook, Twitter. I think it has an Instagram and YouTube. I'll be looking for that quickly, and I'll paste that in here. So yeah, now that we have his links, I'll click on Spotify and paste the link there. So make sure you have the links pasted there. Then Instagram, and we can paste the link right there. And YouTube, I have his URL pasted there as well. So we are good to go. And the other ones are hidden, and everything looks good. So I'll click on Publish. Our footer is looking good. So I want to take out the lessons page. I'm not going to be using this. So let's click on this, configure the menu, and we want to configure the footer menu. So click on lessons and click remove. So I want to get rid of lessons on the top menu as well. So we'll click on the pencil icon there, then configure menu, edit the menu and lessons, and we'll click remove. So we'll be adding more menu items later. I think we'll have one for merch, we'll have one for the beat store or the music store as well. So let's publish this site and let's go to our website. So this looks good. Let's start editing this homepage. So I'll edit with Elementor. And we have our website builder right here. So let's close all the info there and let's start editing this for John Toby. So I'm just going to put some short bio here. And let's put John Toby. So this button, we can make this button lead to his latest song, listen to my new single. And I'm just going to put a Spotify link to that song, and I'm going to link it right there. So let's edit these social icons and let's make sure it leads to his own stuff. So I'll add in Spotify again. So let's find the Spotify icon from here. All icons, Spotify. And this is not loading. So what you want to do is come over to your dashboard and go to Elementor, advanced settings, under settings, and you want to enable font awesome right here. So let's save changes and let's reload. So let's go back to the icons and let's change the icon. Boom. Still not loading. So our icons are still not showing up, and what we're going to do is just upload a custom SVG icon. So you can use a website called SVG repo to do that. I'll be showing you how to do that now. And you can just search for the icon you want. So this is the Spotify icon, and I'll just click on this one here. Then I'll download the SVG. So want to exit from the Elementor icon library and want to upload an SVG from here. So I'll drag in the SVG I just downloaded. And it's always nice to put in an alt text for anything you insert. And we have the Spotify icon right there. So I don't think I like this one. It's not looking too good. Let's download another one. Let's download this one. So yeah, I like that one. So we have the Spotify icon right there. We'll move that to the first item there, and I'm going to put in his Spotify link. And let's put in his Instagram as well. Then his YouTube. So that's great. So let's check the styling, reduce the spacing, and the border radius. Let's reduce that a little. Let's increase the size just a little. So I think I like that. Let's publish. And another thing we want to change is the image. So I'm just going to click on this and let's go to style. Let's edit container. Let's go to style. So you want to right click, edit container, go to style. Then we'll change the image. So I'm going to look for a nice picture here to put. Then I'll rename this John Toby recording. Let's select this. And yeah, I think this is a good starter picture. Let's try something different. Let's try this one. I think I like this one. Yeah. So let's use this one. And yeah, let's write a little bio here. I don't think it needs this section, so I'll get rid of this. Just going to put in a little bio here. Then let's bring in that subtitle again. I'm just going to delete this. I think this is fine. I'll increase the font size for this a bit. I think 18 should work. And let's have a little about me section. I'll pull up another picture. Let's change the title. John Toby in the studio. Should always put an alt text as well. So I'll put in the same about. It's going to change this later. I'll delete the second section, and this looks good. So I think that's all we need for this. I'll get rid of this. I'll get rid of this. And I think we can put in something here. So what I'm going to put in here is one of his covers. I can get rid of this. Get rid of this. So we'll leave the tour date and we'll leave the stay in touch. So for this, let's put in a video. So I'll put in a video in here, and I'm just going to edit the container, and let's get rid of that background. We'll have the video there. So click on self-hosted for the video, and I'm going to try to compress the video file and get back to it. So I want to put these music covers here. So put the line break HTML code, which is BR. Then we'll put that in there. So I'll choose a video file, and I'm just going to drag in a video file in here. So this is lower than 15 MB. And remember, we set the upload limit to be 15 MB. You shouldn't be setting it above that. But if you need to do that, you can always go back to my site's network admin settings and set the max file size upload limit. So here we have that cover video uploaded now, and let's select this. Yeah, so that's loaded fine. Let's change some of the padding information here. And I'll reduce the top and bottom padding. So let's set this to 100 and the bottom to 100. Then we'll align this to the center. I'm going to drag this here. Let's reduce the padding top for this guy as well, and the padding bottom for the video. So we have a nice container here. Let's set this to middle, and we are good to go. So our video file is gone. I don't know what happened. Let's select the video again. And it might be better to upload this from a link. So I have a Vimeo link now, and I'm just going to use that. Sorry, Dailymotion link. Let's paste that in here. And I think I need the full link. Paste that in here. I'm not going to let this play because of copyright issues. And we have his cover there. So I'm not going to unmute this. And you can do things like autoplay, show video controls. You might not want to show the video controls. And I'm just going to enable that. Let's show the video info. And I'm going to show player controls. So yeah, you have this here. So that's how to put in a video. So we have his music cover right there. So I think the homepage is looking very good. And we have his tour dates here. So you can edit this, edit the dates. But I said I was going to show you how to put in a calendar. So let's delete some of this so we don't have too much. I don't think it's going on many shows for now. And let's change this. Join the tribe here, and I'll put in the description. And yeah, we're good to go. So I think this is a WP Forms form, and I think we can just use WP Forms for this video. An alternative is Forminator, that's why I use, but WP Forms is fine as well. So I think we are done with the homepage section. I'm going to publish this, and let's copy this link and view our website. I'm going to view this in incognito, so we don't have all those WordPress nav stuff showing up. And this is looking pretty good. So we have the link to his single, his YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, some info about John Toby here. We have his cover there. We have his store dates there. We'll find the calendar plugin to use for this. So that's looking good. So to work on another page, you just have to click that page, then edit with Elementor. Then you just do the same thing we did with the homepage. You can click on any elements, upload, or add in your own element from the list of elements in Elementor here, and you'll be good to go. We won't edit the about page. He's going to be doing that later. And what we want to edit is the contact page. So let's see what we have here. And I'm just going to click on the drop down and show the contacts page. So get in touch. That's looking good. I'm going to replace some of the text here. You can put in your phone number there. I'm going to take that out. I'll put in his email. So it's johntoby@johntoby.com. Then for the address line, and this is blocking. So this is blocking us from editing the address. So what you can do is come over to structure here, click on a structure, and I'll click on that icon box. So if anything is blocking your view here, you can come over to structure and select what you want to edit from there. So that's a nice way to go about it. So I'll just put in Abuja, Nigeria here, and we have a nice contact form here. So if you want to set up a custom contact form, and for example, the template you installed from Astra did not have a form, what you can do is come over to Forminator. We installed Forminator previously. It's down here, and go to forms. So you can use Forminator for a lot of things: forms, quizzes, polls, and lots of other good stuff. So I'll add a new form, and we'll choose from one of the presets here. So let's choose a contact form, and let's create that form. So first name, email, I'm going to delete phone number, put in message. So let's put in, this looks good, submit. Then you can go to appearance, select how you want your form to look like. Then behavior, this is the message after the person submits the form. And you can enable honeypot protection to disable bots from submitting info into your form. And email notifications, it will be sent to this email. So I'll change it to John Toby. Then I think that's pretty much everything. You can connect this to MailerLite, MailChimp, MailPoet to send emails to that service, and I'll publish this. So once you have this published, you can copy the short code, go to Elementor. So let's create a new element here. I'm just going to create one here to show you how this works. Create a flex box. Then I'm going to put in short code. So search for short code there, and I'll put this in. So we have our form here. So you can style this within Elementor. So if I change the appearance, let's change this to flat, and you can do some custom CSS here. Let's publish the changes, and let's publish this and reload this. You should see the form change right here. So yeah, so we have a nice form here. So let's test this. I'll submit this. And thank you for contacting us. We'll be in touch shortly. So let's check his email. And let's see if we got that message. So there you go. A message from Osiris. And we have the message right there. So that's how to set up a form. So everything I set up in Forminator here, you can also set up in WP Forms. All you need to do is go to WP Forms, and you can see the newsletter sign up form, which is the one we have on the home page here. And you can see the second form, the simple contact form, and you can edit that and set up everything we set up in Elementor. So Forminator is a great form plugin. WP Forms is a great forms plugin. You can use anyone you want to, and you have all the options to set up everything you need to set up for free. And let's try this one out. Let me see where this one is going to. Settings. Let's enable spam protection. We'll put in a custom email here. Let's save this. You can edit all these other details here. Then let's try out this form. Let's reload the page. Let's publish, then reload, then try out the WP Forms. Let's go to the website on a new page. Go to contact. We have all its details here. Let's try this out. And let's send. Seems this element is blocking the form. I'm just going to delete this. Let's publish. Everything looks good. I'll reload. Now we can click on that. Now let's send this. And we have the form message there. So let's check his email. Let's reload this. And we have the notification right there. So you can use WP Forms. You can use Forminator. Anyone works. And you can customize them to your taste or to your preference. So we've been able to create the home page. If you click on the logo, that takes you to the home page as well. And we've been able to create the contacts page. So this is looking great. So the next thing we'll be doing is working on the calendar. So let's go back to the home page. So for this part of the video, I want to show you my thought process when I want to install a new feature. I don't have any calendar plugin in mind, but I'm just going to look for one here. Let's go back home and let's go to my site, network admin, plugins. And we're going to find a calendar plugin we can use for his events and shows and whatever. So let's search for calendar. And we have some nice ones here. We have this event prime, the events calendar. I think I've used this one in the past. This one is looking good. I think we're going to try this one. Let's check more details. See screenshots. I like that one. So this looks very customizable. Let's check this one. This one is more like a booking calendar. So we need something like an events calendar. So let's check this one. This one looks good as well, but I think I'm going to try this one out. So let's install this. And I'm going to go to my site, John Toby dashboard, and we're going to activate that plugin from there. So plugins and event prime activate. So let's add a new event. I'm going to add Lagos tour. John Toby Lagos tour in Bariga. Lagos tour Bariga to Lekki. So let's start date. Let's set it as 22nd of August, and I'm going to end it on 31st. So bookings, you can set bookings, tickets. Bookings is not enabled, so we can't set tickets, but you have all those options with this, so you can experiment with that. So let's publish this, and I'll add a new event, and let's do the Cyrus and Friends show meets John Toby at Osiris and Friends. So let's set this as a one-time event on the 16th, and let's publish this. Event end date cannot be less than the start date. So let's set the start date first and the end date to a later date, then make it an all-day event. So let's publish this. So we don't have tickets. I want to try out what the ticket looks like. I'm just going to disable tickets for this. Let's turn off bookings. If you want to experiment with that, you can experiment with that. And let's publish this. So let's see the options here. Short codes. We can enable this with short code. All events. Let's copy the short code. And let's go to the calendar. We have those two events there. Let's check settings. I think we should be able to edit this in Elementor as well. So front view. Let's go to John Toby. Let's edit with Elementor. I'm done with the contact page. I'm done with the SVG. And on top of this, I'm just going to try to add in the event. So it doesn't have an Elementor widget. So we'll add in the short code. And let's see how this looks like. That's not showing in the editor. Let's publish and let's see if this makes any changes on the main website. So yeah, we have an events calendar there, and you can find events which looks nice. You can customize this to look how you want. I think you can do a lot of settings here. I'll go back to short code. Let's copy the short code. Let's just paste the full thing. Let's apply. Let's refresh this. And we have the slider there. So that's looking good. So yeah, that's how to work with events and set up events and an event calendar. So you can use the Event Prime plugin, and you have the flexibility of using short code, and even it has extendable settings that you can play with. So that looks nice. And yeah, that looks good. Nice. So let's get rid of this. I think I'm cool with the custom setting of events with Elementor, because it's not going to be having lots of events. But if you ever want to set up custom events and booking, you can use a plugin like that one. So that's great. I'm going to remove that so everything looks clean, and let's publish. So we've checked how we can set up an event calendar, and the next thing we want to take a look at is the newsletter feature. So we'll move on to building the newsletter, and we're going to have a pop-up box like the one it asked for, something like this on the Omale website. But before we get into that, I wanted to show you guys a really cool plugin. So let's go to my site, network admin, and let's go to plugins. So you might have fans or users in different parts of the world, and they should be able to use your website as well. So let's install a plugin called GTranslate. It's this one here, and I'm going to install this. So this is a language switcher plugin, and let's go to my site, John Toby dashboard, to activate this. And let's go to plugins, GTranslate. Let's activate this. Then let's go to the settings, and the default language is English. We want this to float, and let's select the languages we want to show. So French, Arabic, German, Italian, Chinese, Dutch, Portuguese, Russian. I'm going to add in Yoruba. Let's see if we have any other Nigerian language, Hausa, Igbo. Let's save changes. So we'll set this to float at the bottom left. Let's change this to bottom right. Let's save changes. And we might have to open this in incognito. And we have a nice language switcher there. So I can translate this to Yoruba, and as a Yoruba fan, I can use John Toby's website. So that's nice. So you have the flags to tell the person it's a language switcher. Let's see, French. I know a little French, and this looks right. Let's see how the Chinese one looks. And that's cool. Very, very cool. So that's how to use the GTranslate plugin as a language switcher in WordPress. Yeah, let's go into MailPoet and let's set that up. So we have MailPoet installed and activated. So let's go over to the plugin and let's begin setup. So you need to create an account. I'm just going to set up John Toby at johntoby.com from email John Toby. So let's continue. So we'll be using this for the newsletters and the pop-up form. We don't want to send data to MailPoet to improve anything. So let's connect MailPoet and let's use the free one. So we can use it for up to 500 subscribers. So if you have more than 500 subscribers, you might want to pay for this or use a different service. So, but there are lots of email services you can use on WordPress. So let's start for free. So I'll set up his email and password and get back to the screen. So I have his password set and I'm just going to accept terms and conditions and continue. So let's check his email and we need to activate and confirm the email. So I'm going to send him all the details, his password and everything. That's why I'm using a password manager to set up different passwords. So let's copy his site URL. And no, I'm starting with a new list. If you have a list from Substack or some other service, you can import right there. Then we'll copy this code to activate the subscription in WordPress. So copy the activation key and come over here to verify your account. So let's start using MailPoet. we don't have subscribers and we need to authenticate our sender domain so we can improve our delivery. So what we want to do is set these guys up in Cloudflare. So copy this and go to Cloudflare and create a new record. So it's a CNAME record. Select CNAME, paste the name and paste the value in here. We'll uncheck proxied and we'll use DNS only. I'm going to save this. Let's copy the next one. That one is also a CNAME. Paste the name and we'll paste the value as well. So let's save. We'll copy the text record and we'll add a new text record. We'll paste the name. And the value as well. So I'll save this. And let's copy the last text record or the TXT record. Select. And let's paste the value. So yeah, this is how to verify your sender domain and improve your delivery rates. So it's not allowing us to copy that. We have an identical record. I think this one here. So let's close, cancel, and let's verify. So yeah, we've been verified. We're all good. Let's save. Let's go to forms. Let's add in a new form. And we're adding a pop-up form. So let's select one of the templates here. Something that looks like the O'Malley one here. I think this one should work. This is looking like a very musical one. So let's select this and we can edit it later. I don't want to watch the tutorial and we can start editing this. So I'm going to just get rid of this image and this section right here. Let's undo that. Change this to one column and I'm going to replace this with John Toby's logo. Let's use this cropped one. That looks good. Let's change this. And we have the email. You can add more form data here. So let's add in first name. So the O'Malley one has email, first name, phone number, and a checkbox. So what else can we add? Let's see. Last name, first name. We don't need to add in any other thing. I think this looks great. I'm going to save this. Let's select a list, newsletter mailing list, and let's save this. So this is looking good. Let's preview this. And want to select a pop-up. We can select sliding or any other way we want this to show, but this is going to be a pop-up and it's going to be displayed on the home page, on all pages. And we're going to show this form every 30 days. You have all that nice settings here, but I think this works fine. Let's X out of this. So let's save this. Let's go incognito and see if this works. I don't think we've activated this yet. Let's purge our cache and let's reload this. Yeah, so that's our form. Let's test it in incognito. Let's go to the contact page. Let's see if this pops up here. So let's put our first name. Let's join John Toby's list. So this has spam protection as well, which is nice. And yeah, so check our inbox for our subscription details and we are good to go. So this is how to create a pop-up form. You can see my details there. So unconfirmed, you can track it. So this is how to create a pop-up form. This is how to create your own newsletter. The good thing about MailPoet, I'll be showing it in this video, is that you can set MailPoet to send a newsletter email to all your subscribers when you create a new blog post on WordPress. So you can set up that automation, which is really cool. That's what I've started using on my own website as well. You can hook this up with WooCommerce or a membership plugin so people can pledge support to your newsletters and you can collect subscription payments. So it's a very, very powerful plugin. So we've been able to achieve something similar to this. And the next thing we'll be doing is working on the music store, the beat store. So let's go back to the website. And I'm just going to add in a new page or replace one of the pages here. So I'll replace this shows page. So let's edit the page. To add in a new page, you can come over to the dashboard, then go to pages, and you can add a new page from here in case you want to do that. So I'm not doing that now. I'm just going to edit the shows page. Same thing. So I'll call this Beat Store and I'm going to save this. So let's edit with Elementor. And for this section of the video, we'll be creating something similar to this and you'll be able to sort through your beats and make a purchase. So I'm just going to put by my beats. Let's get rid of this. And the whole beat store is going to live in this flex box right here. Get rid of this, get rid of this, and let's publish. So for this part of the video, we'll be using the Sonaar plugin. That's this one here. You can use this to create a beat store. You can use this to create a podcast platform. You can use this to create an audio course platform and anything that has to do with audio. You can use this to sell your album. You can use this to set up album streaming on your website with MP3 files. And this is just the most powerful WordPress audio plugin. So I'll be downloading the plugin. There is a free one you can get started with on WordPress. So if you go to the WordPress dashboard, you can come over to my site, Network Admins plugin, and add a new plugin. And if you search for Sonaar, you'll find it right here. So you can install this. I'm going to be using the Pro plugin. If you need access to that, you can reach out to me, send me an email or send me a DM on Instagram. We can set up your website together. So let's install that. So with this, I'll be showing you how to upload a custom plugin on WordPress. So we want to install the free one first. And I'm going to upload the Pro plugin so we can use WooCommerce and sell our beats. You can upload your instrumentals and sort them out and make them look nice like what we have here, but you can't sell them if you do not have the Pro plugin. So that's just the catch for this. So let's activate this. Let's deactivate this from the multi-site admin, and it's always good to activate plugins from the site you need it for. So I'm going to go to plugins and I'll activate this. Let's skip and let's go back to my site, network admin plugins, and I'm going to upload the pro one. So upload plugin, I'm just going to drag the zip file here and install. So this has been installed, and we'll go to Jantobi dashboard, and I'm going to go to plugins and let's activate the pro plugin. So Sonar has some nice templates you can also add to use in Elementor. You don't need to use them. You can just use the default things you have in Elementor. And I'll be using some of these to add some flavor to the site. I'll be installing this as well. Go to templates. And I'm going to import templates. I'm going to drag the zip file in here. So let's import. Let's continue. So we shouldn't close this page. This is going to take some time to import. I'm just going to be doing some other stuff here. So let's go back to the dashboard. Let's go to MP3 Player, settings, license, and I'm going to put in my license key. So I have my license activated and we are good to go. So let's add in a new track. So I'm going to add, let's call this Overdrive. That's one of John Toby's track. I'm going to put in the MP3 here. So I'm going to look for that and drag that in here. So we'll select use this file. And we have the file added right there. So let's publish. And if we go to our bit store and refresh, we can select the MP3 player from Elementor right here. So let's drag in the MP3 player. And we have this track here. So I'll put in a new flex box that is not looking crazy like the one we have there. And I'm just going to drag in the MP3 player again. And we have a nice centered MP3 player right there. So the next thing we want to do is set up filters and tags. Then we'll come back to the player. But for now, I'm going to publish and let's see how this looks on the main website. So let's go to BitStore. And we have this song here. So let's go back to these instrumentals and I'm going to put this in a new category. And I'm going to call this category instrumentals. Let's add the new category. And we have this song in instrumentals. So I'll save that. Go to our admin. We'll come back here. I want to set up a new plugin. So we'll use this new plugin to set up filters. So let's go to my site, network admin, plugins. We'll add a new plugin. I want to add in advanced custom fields. It's this one right here. Let's install it. So this is what's going to help us set up the duration, the BPM, the mood, instruments, genre, and we can sort with all those filters. Let's go back to our dashboard, plugins, and let's activate advanced custom fields. So let's go to ACF right here and want to create a new field group. So I'm going to call this instrumentals as well. I want to add in a new field type. So the first one we'll be adding in is a checkbox. Let's look for that. And we want to call this mood. So I'm just going to copy some of the choices I have here and let's add in another field. And this next one is going to be called instruments. It's also going to be a checkbox. Instruments. And I'll copy some instruments I have. Then let's add another field. This one is also a checkbox called genre. Let's change this to a checkbox. And I'm just going to copy some instrumental genres here. And let's add one more field. I will call this one BPM. So this one is going to be a text field. So BPM. So that's all for the fields. I'm going to save changes. And for the field settings, we want this displayed on the MP3 Audio Player Pro. And let's save this. So if we go back to Overdrive, let's save this. And if we refresh this page, we'll be able to see all those filters here. So let's set some of the filters. And I'm just going to set the BPM to 120. Let's assume it's 120. So let's save this. And we've been able to set the details for that track. So I'm going to add another track. Let's go back, add one more track so we can use the filters effectively. So this one is called Introspect and it's inspirational. It's piano, I think. Has some pads and strings as well. So this is cinematic. Let's make this 90 beats per minute. So I'll add the MP3 file. I'm going to drag that in. So the upload is complete. I'm going to use this file. Let's add this to the instrumentals category and I'm going to publish. So you can add images and any other thing you like. Can set the playlist cover. I'm going to publish. So these tracks we are creating are actually playlists and you can add multiple tracks. But for this purpose, for the beat stop purpose, we are going to be creating one song or one beat per track. So I'm not going to add in multiple tracks here. And you're going to see all our beats here. So let's go back to the beat store. Let's refresh this. We have 2 tracks now. And let's click on this. So we want the source to come from all posts and categories. And we're going to select instrumentals. So now we have 2 tracks here. So let's publish this. So I'm going to hide the mini player and hide the image cover. So I don't want any of those things disturbing. So let's go to the style and set some things here as well. Then let's try the track list search bar. Let's enable that. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not going to use that right now. Then here we can use the custom field groups we created in advanced custom fields. So I'm going to add item. We'll select ACF in the source, and let's select mood. We'll add a new item, and we'll select the track duration. Let's put this up here. I'm going to call this duration. Call this mood. We'll select ACF again, and we'll select the BPM. Let's call this BPM. Put this after duration. Then let's select ACF again as the source, and I'll select instrument. We'll call this instrument. Then let's add the last filter, which is genre. I'll call this genre. This is good to go. So let's publish this, and let's go to our bit store and refresh. So we have this. We don't really have anything showing right now. We have the pop-up here, which is nice. Let's go back to our player and change this to list or boxed. And now we have everything showing up. So if you have this set to floated, it's not going to show up all those details. So once you have this set to, let's see button, let's see what button does. So yeah, you need to have this set to boxed, and let's publish this. So let's refresh this, and we have our instrumentals with the title, the duration, the BPM, the mood, instrument, genre, and we can sort with this already, which is nice. So let's add in more things. The next thing I'm going to add in is the audio player filter. So I'm just going to add in a new option here. Let's add Flexbox, and let's click this plus icon here, and let's scroll down all the way to the MP3 player. Then let's add filter, select, and tags. So I want this to be a drop down. I want to add in item. So we want the first item to be from ACF. I want to sort by mood. So I'll call this mood. Then we can sort by mood. Then the second item, we should be able to sort by the instrument. I'll call this instrument. And the third item should be genre. So ACF genre. That's looking good. I'm going to, we can make these tags instead of drop downs as well. Let's make them tags. I think tags is looking really nice. Let's style this a bit. Let's bring this to the center. And yeah, I think I like tags for this. And we can start sorting out, for example, if we click in calm, we should have just this. So we'll test that in the front end, and that's looking good. So let's publish, let's reload, and let's try out the sort option here. So let's select calm, and we have just overdrive. So, and you can see the filters here as well. So let's select inspirational. We have the two selected. So we select inspirational and cinematic. we'll have just introspect. The last thing I want to set up is search. So let's create something on top of this, and flexbox and plus, then search track list. So this will leave as the default. They should be able to filter everything by default. Let's publish this and let's check how this looks on the front end. So let's get rid of all these filters and let's search for John Toby, and we have that pop up. I'll search for introspect and we have that pop up. So I'm going to play this and we can see that right here. So yeah, that's how to create your album store. You can use this to create a streaming service or a podcast or whatever. And the next thing we want to do is set up WooCommerce so people will be able to purchase these instrumentals here. Let's get to our network admin and let's go to plugins, and you want to add in a new plugin. Let's search for Woo and let's install WooCommerce. So let's go back to John Toby dashboard and let's go to plugins. Then we'll activate WooCommerce. So let's set up the store. I'm just starting my business, John Toby. Let's call this, let's put this under the arts and crafts category. Let's change that email. Let's continue. So they want us to install some new plugins. I'm going to uncheck everything. We don't need that for now. Let's continue. And this is redirecting to the startup again. This is some WooCommerce bug. And yeah, we're good to go. Let's go to settings. Let's make sure everything is well set. I'll change this to my location or John Toby's location. Let's save changes. The price is Naira, which is nice. You can set any currency you want under general settings. If you're in the United States, you can set this to USD or any country you're in. Let's just go through WooCommerce here. Everything looks good. Shipping, everything looks good. So this payments tab is an important tab. So WooCommerce has multiple payments options. You can set up PayPal, Stripe. Paystack is the popular one in Africa. I'm in Nigeria and we use Paystack and get this installed. And you can set up offline payments as well. So you can do cash on delivery. You can put in your bank account details and you can put in your check payment details. So I'm just going to put in a test bank account details to test our BitStore out. So let's enable that and direct back transfer. So let's set Nigeria and account name John Toby, bank name test, account number. Let's put in some number and let's save. So let's save changes and let's go back. Let's go to accounts and privacy. Enable guest checkout, which is nice. I think everything looks good here. So you can go through all these settings individually yourself to select what you want. So these are the emails WooCommerce sends for a new order, a field order, processing completed. So it has all those things set up for you. So which is very nice. So integrations, site visibility, points of sale, You don't need anything here. Advanced. And we are good to go. So the next thing we want to do is link our MP3 tracks to WooCommerce as products. So if we don't have our WooCommerce products, we won't be able to sell anything. So these are just tracks. These are not products. So what I want to do is go to our MP3 plugin, MP3 Player. I want to go to Tools. So you know how we just added all the tracks and things like that? You might want to install WooCommerce first before doing that. And I'm going to show you the reason why. So what I want to do is go to Bulk Importer and want to scroll down or scroll up and import audio from CSV file in one click. So you want to click that and want to scroll down. You can import your tracks if you have CSV files here, but I want to convert our current audio tracks. So I'll select introspect and overdrive. Then I'm going to convert them to products. So let's set a price for each of them. I'm just going to set 10,000 naira, and we'll create posts for each selected tracks. So let's select this, and we've created 2 products. So let's go to products, and now we have 2 products as drafts here. So I'm going to edit them again. So the thing about this is we can have the sorting details we had in advanced custom field. So we want to go to ACF, and to change these guys to a product, you can have this set up as just MP3 tracks if you don't want to sell them, but to change them to products, we need to change a lot of things. So we need to change this to this location to products instead of tracks, or we can duplicate this. I'm going to edit this in ACF, and let's set this to instrumental store, and I'm going to select the location as product. So let's save changes, and if we go back to our WooCommerce products here, so let's go to products. If we edit this, we have these details here. So the first thing we want to do is select all, then select bulk actions and edit, then apply. Then we want to put in a product category. We need to create a new category. So let's create a new category first. I'll call this instrumentals, and let's add the category. Then let's go back to all products, select all, bulk actions, edit, apply. Then we'll change the category to instrumentals. So let's update, and now we have to set the filters for each one. So I'm just going to set this as calm and inspirational. Let's put in keys, piano, strings, and percussions. Then let's set the BPM as 90, and every other thing is good. Let's publish this product. We can see the product as an individual product right here, but that's not what we want. We want this as a track product. So let's go back to all products and also set the details for this. I'm going to set this to angry, funky, and inspirational. So let's set this to guitar and vocals, melodic. Let's set the BPM to 120, and let's publish. If we go back to our BitStore and refresh, nothing happens, everything remains the same. What we need to do is refresh the edit page in Elementor. Then we need to change this here to products. So let's get rid of the instrument and select products. We have our products there. The genre field is not showing. I don't know why. Let's fix that. Let's go to style, custom fields, instrumental store. So we'll change this to the instrumental store as well. So let's select ACF. Then the BPM here should be the BPM of the instrumental store. The mood should be the mood under instrumental store. And the instrument should be the instrument under instrumental store. Then the genre should be the genre under instrumental store. Let's go to style, custom fields. Let's delete the instrumentals. Let's see if the genre will pop up. Let's see if it's space thing. So it's a space thing. So let's add in the instrumentals again. We'll find a way to fix that. So ACF, instrumentals. I want to put this here. Let's publish this first and let's see how it looks on the main site. So we've been able to change this. And the next thing I want to do is have the price beside each of the track notes down here. So the first thing I want to do is come over to the player here and disable external links. Then that should get rid of that. So the next thing I want to achieve is putting the price right here. To do that, let's head over to styles and call to action button. So the call to action buttons, want to make sure display icons with pop over is set. And let's give this some spacing. Let's show the text label. And we have the add to cart option here. So that's looking good. Let's see if we can add in something else that is interesting. We can enable pagination if we want. That would look nice. Let's leave that enabled. Let's see what else can we edit here. So I like that. Let's give it some padding. That's looking much better. So this is looking great. I'm going to publish this and let's check how this looks on the front end. So yeah, so this, let's say we want a cinematic instrumental and we add this to cart. We can view our cart and we can proceed to checkout to purchase these instrumentals. So we can put in all our details and place our order, make payments, and the MP3 player will handle all the delivery. So you can also do some interesting things like setting up audio preview with your watermarks. Your watermarks might be your bit tag, so people will not be able to rip off your beats. So you can set up just 30 seconds preview, so they can just preview the beats for 30 seconds or the instrumentals for 30 seconds. You can add in your beat tags as watermarks, and you have lots of options to disable piracy and disable people pirating your instrumental. So this is a very extensive plugin, and you can play around with this to get the fine details you want for your beat store. So that's how to create a beat store and allow people purchase things from your site. The next thing and the final thing we are going to be doing in this video is creating a merchandise store. Let's go back to customize, and in the menu page, we want to configure the menu, edit the main menu. I want to add in a new item, so we'll add in our shop. So let's publish this and let's see how it looks like. So I'm just going to close Elementor here, and WooCommerce handles the whole shop thing. So we already have our bits added to our shop, and we can add in new merchandise. So the way to add in merch is to just add in products. So let's go to products. Let's add a new product. Cyrus pendant, and set the description. I'll set the category as merch. So I'll create a new category. And I'm going to add in a new product image. So I'll drag this in. So let's select the image. So let's change the title and the alt text as well. And what else? We don't want to use any of these instrumental tags. Let's set the price. I'm going to set this to 50,000 naira, and the sales price to 39,000 naira, for example. So let's see what else we need to add to this. We don't need to add in track information, and we can publish this. So once you publish this, it's going to, you see this here. And if you want to get rid of these guys here, you can sort. Let's go back to customize. Let's go to the shop, not the B store, the shop, and let's go to WooCommerce here. Let's see general, and we can set our merch page settings here. Let's set this to the left sidebar. Let's go back. Let's go to product catalog, show categories. Let's show all products. I want to disable some of the categories from the default shop page. So let's see if we can do that. So let's just show products for now. Let's go back. Single product. You can set how the single products look when you click on one product. Let's go back. Let's see some miscellaneous settings. We need to upgrade for this. If we can't change this, we'll change this in Elementor. Let's publish this. We're going to be changing this in Elementor. So let's go back to the website. Let's go to our shop. Let's go to dashboard. Let's go to pages. Then let's look for shop. And I'm going to edit this. So we'll change the template type to Elementor full width, and I'll save this. Edit with Elementor. Let's go back. We need to change the default shop page for WooCommerce to be able to edit this page. Let's change this back to default template, and we'll create a new page. So let's add a page. Let's call this merch instead, and let's publish this. So let's edit with Elementor, and we want to come over to, want to find WooCommerce. Let's go to WordPress, and let's look for WooCommerce. So let's put product list. So let's use something else. Might have to use a plugin for this. So let's go into our WordPress admin, my site, network admins, and plugins. So if you can't figure out something, there is definitely a plugin that can do it. So let's add a plugin, and we'll be adding essential add-ons. Let's search for this. So add essential add-ons for Elementor. So let's install that. Then let's go to my site, John Toby dashboard. Let's go to plugins. And let's find essential add-ons. Let's activate that. Let's refresh this. Let's see the elements we have access to here. So we have access to WooCommerce elements here. So let's go back to our merch page and let's refresh it. Reload. Now, when we search Woo, we have more options here. So let's put in the product grid. And we have a nice product layout here. So let's see some presets. I really like this one. Yeah, this one looks nice. Then let's query manual selection, or we can select I'm trying to query by category. Should be able to select by category here. So I'm just going to do manual selection and do the Osiris pendant, but we should be able to select by category here. So I'm sure you find a plugin that will allow you select by category, but this is how you can manually put in your query and select only the products you want. Let's publish this. Then I'm going to replace this shop page with the merch page. So let's add in a quick title. Let's move this up. Just going to add in a text. It's called this merch. I'll centralize this and let's publish this. So let's go back to our home page and click on customize. Then let's go to the pencil icon here and let's configure the menu. So I'll edit the main menu and we'll remove the shop page here and replace it with the merch page. So we can put this after BitStore. Should be careful with ordering this. Let's reorder this. This can be annoying sometimes. Yeah, so let's reorder this and bring this down. And I think that's great. So yeah, that's all we'll be doing. Let's take a look at how our site looks on the front end. We set up a merchandise store where you can purchase merch. Let's add this to cart. Let's view the cart. So let's launch the store. You need to go to your WooCommerce settings, site visibility, and make your site live to everyone. So let's refresh this. Let's purge our cache. And now the WooCommerce shop page is live. Our merch page is also live, and we can add things to cart. Let's view the cart, and you can check out. I want just one pendant. Let's proceed. You can add coupon codes and we can place our order. Yeah, so let's go through everything we've done. We've been able to set up a beautiful site for our artist, John Toby. We put in his story, his bio, everything about him with his social media links. We put in a pop-up for his newsletters. We set up an email list. We set up newsletter functionality with MailPoet. We put in a language translator for his fans all over the world. We put in a video here. We put in a calendar. We created a contact page with forms. I showed you how to edit the forms and how to link them to the proper email. We created a beat store where you can sort out your instrumentals, purchase instrumentals, play those instrumentals. And this is just great. A merchandise store. You can buy merch, you can buy beats. And I've been able to set up all of this in just a few hours. So if you are looking to create an artist website or a beat store or a merchandise store for your products to sell to your fans, and you just want control over everything you do, this might be the way you want to go. You might not want to keep paying for subscription fees for those services that you usually use. You might want to have more control over everything at a cheaper rate. I think this is the way to go. You can do more with this. You can create a membership platform on WordPress. You can set up SEO. You can set up beat licensing with Sonaar. You can set up a blog, a music blog. You can set up a course and different sorts of things like that. And yeah, that's it. This is how to create your own fully functioning artist website from scratch. And the cool thing is that you own all your data, you own all your traffic, your brand, everything. You can just create a backup in Namecheap, a zip file that you can move anywhere if you are not satisfied with your hosting provider, and move to another provider. So you own everything and you're in control of everything. So this is how to do it. I hope this helped you. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you learned something from this. Those things help the channel. If you check the description and the pinned comment, you see all the tools I used. They are affiliate links. So if you use those links, I'll be getting a little cash back from your purchase if you purchase hosting or purchase a tool or purchase anything. If you want a deeper walkthrough, if you want some more custom features, or you want me to set up your site for you personally, I'll leave my links and my contact information in the description and comments below. You can reach out to me. And yeah, that'll be all for today. Thanks for watching. Go build your website. Go show the world what you got. And yeah, I'll be seeing you in another video. Bye.